folks. Golf and Dale here. Looks like Aretha's trying to find the spot so she can join me. We're going to do a response to DVD Collector 1974's thread, movie Purgatory, where he's come up with some questions. I would encourage anybody in the music, CD, vinyl, where are you going, Aretha, community to stick around, because he's asked a couple music questions, and one is going to be a hot potato. So yeah, so there's that. Anyway, I've been following James for a long time. He man, I just enjoy listening to him talk about films. I stumbled across his channel looking for suggestions about how to build shelves, and he had a video, and then from there I just went ahead and started watching some of his movie discussions. So I'll leave a link in the description, and so you can go over to his channel and check it out. We're going to go ahead and jump in here. Let me just give one shout out on a pretty difficult day, and that's to vinyl community member Steve Carlson, who his house was damaged in the flooding the other night in Michigan when 2 dams broke. Oh, Steve, my heart hurts for you, and I hope that you're able to recover from this incident well. Just glad you're okay. And I'll also, they've started a GoFundMe for Steve, and I'll put a link in the description for that as well. But let me go ahead and jump into this. This is the movie Purgatory. Now, as I read off the questions, or if you decide to make a video, you might look at all the questions at once, because how you answer one question might inform how you answer another one. And you'll see what I mean as we go through. The first question he asked, or the first thing he said that you could take to your movie Purgatory with you, would be 5 film franchises. So, the first franchise I picked was the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Here's a couple of them: Avengers, Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. Both of those, I think, were Target editions. I usually like the books that Target puts with their DVD sets. So, you know, I love superheroes. I was a comic book geek from a very early, well, they were probably my best friends growing up, because I didn't have, circumstances. I just didn't have a whole lot of friends. So I spent a lot of time with my nose in comic books, and probably learned to read quite well because of it. So anyway, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Second franchise would be, oh wait a minute, let me reach down here. Let's talk some Godzilla. This is the DVD book set that came out last year. I think between this book and all the Blu-rays and DVDs I think I have every Godzilla movie there is. And so I'd want them with me. Love Godzilla. And I'll explain more about that when I hit the TV shows. So the third franchise, of course, I was born in '66. That means I was about 11 years old in 1977 when this movie came out, Star Wars: A New Hope. So I'd want the Star Wars franchise. Yeah, one of the big franchises that got me to watching movies. This is a Walmart steelbook. Very cool. So that would be franchise 3. Franchise 4, James Bond. and between DVD and Blu-ray, I think I have the whole set of these as well. Yeah, love James Bond. Even though he's been played by a whole bunch of different actors, there's not really an actor that I dislike. And so that gives me a lot of action. I've always liked this franchise. And so that's pick 4. And pick 5, the DCU. I often think that they get picked at a lot. I enjoyed the movies. I enjoyed Man of Steel. I enjoyed Batman v Superman. I can't remember where I got this Steelbook. But, Ben Affleck was probably my favorite Batman. I thought he was probably the Batman best realized on film. His costume is my favorite Batman costume. So I really enjoyed these films and decided to make the DCU my 5th franchise. So the second part is 5 actor. You can pick 5 actors or directors and have their whole discography in your Purgatory. I don't have a sample for the first one just yet. That would be perhaps the greatest actor in cinematic history. How about Jimmy Stewart? Yeah, Harvey. Great film. Lots of great films. He did a lot of good work with Hitchcock. Did a lot of great westerns. Just an amazing actor. So he would be my first choice. 2 would be Steve Martin. Here we got Three Amigos. Great film, though probably in my opinion, his 2 most classic films would be The Jerk and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Just absolutely brilliant films. But to me, he was really consistent all the way through his career. And I can't think of a comedic actor that had a better run than he did. My third choice, we're talking Dan Aykroyd. First of all, it gets this film into my Purgatory, which is The Blues Brothers, what I consider to be the greatest film of all time. And then when you think about his career, he was in a lot of great films like Trading Places, Spies Like Us, I believe. So there were a lot of great films in Dan Aykroyd's filmography. I'll take him too. The next choice will be a bit of an oddball, and that's because I didn't go for an actor for his on-screen presence. Went for an actor for his vocal ability, and that would be Kevin Conroy, who has voiced Batman through the animated series and multiple movies. And you don't have to give me the filmography where he actually appeared on camera. Don't care about it. I just want the stuff that he voiced. I'm a big Batman freak. He may be my favorite Batman. Yeah, he's just amazing. So I'll take Kevin Conroy's filmography, animated voiceover filmography. Why didn't I pull something? I didn't pull something for this next actor, so I'm just going to go. Or this next director, I should say. This is the one director that ended up on my list. Believe it or not, it is not Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is probably my favorite modern actor, or director, but he doesn't have that huge of a filmography. So I thought, who would fit into the spot best? How about Steven Spielberg? That way I get the Raiders trilogy in there. Or did he work on all 4? And then I get some Jurassic Park. I get E.T. A lot of great films So I'll take Spielberg as my fifth guy. Then 5 TV shows. Well, I mentioned it when I mentioned Godzilla, but I was born in 1966. And so that meant when I started watching TV in the early 70s, one of the shows in syndication that I absolutely was riveted to the TV was Ultraman. There's where my love for kaiju got started. I loved everything from Hayata always trying to he always seemed to drop that beta capsule right out of reach. So in the model spaceship that the Science Patrol used to fly, I even loved the clickety clack of their shoes as they would run down the hall. Just great stuff. So this is the reissue of Ultraman. My only problem with this is that it's the Japanese soundtrack or vocal track with English subtitles, and I really have a fond affection for the English crew that did the talked over it. So unfortunately, that is only out in DVD, whereas this is Blu-ray, and it looks kind of cool in Blu-ray. So I don't know, maybe I'll go back and forth and watch each one. So anyway, Ultraman's my first TV show. My second one, there can be only one. Highlander. Loved the show. Thought Adrian Paul was absolutely brilliant. Not sure why his career didn't take off. I thought he was a good actor. He made fight scenes look good. Yeah. In fact, I would have, if it had been left up to me, he might have played James Bond in a couple Bond flicks. I thought he was that good. So, Highlander. My second TV series. Then there's one that I don't have. Psych. And I don't know where I've placed it, but I can't find it. But that's yeah. That and when you think about that, you think about Monk. They were had the same showrunners, I think, but man, and I loved Monk long before I even gave Psych a try. But after watching Psych, that interplay between James Roday and Dule Hill was just genius, and so they edge out Monk by about that much. So I'll take Psych. For the sheer comedy, I'll take the Carol Burnett Show. Great. I mean, first of all, I don't know that a comedic foursome has ever existed that rivals these four. Carol Burnett, Harvey Korman, Tim Conway, and Vicki Lawrence. Tim Conway, man, I loved him so much. He was so great. So I'll take the Carol Burnett Show. And it's not really packaged as the show, but they showed all of this. How about the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show? I've got the entire golden collection of Looney Tunes. It's not set up as the show, but they showed all of these cartoons on that show. So, is that cheating? I don't know. Anyway, my answer would be the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show. Because they just don't make cartoons like that anymore. The closest they came, probably my favorite modern cartoon would have been Courage the Cowardly Dog. But, so, anyway, let's go for 5 films from my favorite genre. And of course that's I don't know exactly, is our superhero films a genre, or subgenre of science fiction. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to pick up some of the Batman films that didn't get picked up in my other answers. So yeah, now here we find Nolan. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, in my opinion, the best superhero movie ever made. I've never seen a superhero movie have a story with as much depth and as thought-provoking as The Dark Knight. And, yeah. In fact, this is the only movie that could rival the Blues Brothers as far as being my favorite. So, then we've got the third in the trilogy, The Dark Knight Rises. I'm not going away from Batman now. The Adam West Batman movie. Hysterical. Love. There are multiple scenes in here I just can't do without. The opening scene where they are flying the Batcopter and battle a mechanical, well, and they battle a shark. And then the bomb on the pier scene. Just cinematic brilliance. Finally, an animated movie that I need that Kevin Conroy wasn't in, and that's Batman and the Ninja Turtles. This movie was a lot better than what you might think. It was also, I caution you though, it was a lot more violent than you might think as well. But yeah, I'm a huge turtle fan. I didn't have any turtles on this list, so I had to go with this. Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A really, really good film. Box set. That's what we need next. Okay, and then finally, as far as movies are concerned, you can see it back here. The box set almost got beat. I had a hard time. When I show it to you, you'll think, well, what could rival Alfred Hitchcock? I had to really sweat this out between this and my Batman 1966 Adam West box set, but this won out. The films, boy, that slid out fast, and I almost dropped it. The films in here, there are so many great ones. Even before I had this box set, I was going to the library and checking out movies like The Rope, with Jimmy Stewart in it. Now, there are some other great films that Jimmy Stewart isn't in, so that's why I doubled up with him here. The Rope, great movie. Rear Window, you know, you've got The Man Who Knew Too Much. Vertigo, of course. Psycho, The Birds, just great stuff. Marnie, didn't know before I saw this. I need to watch this one because I didn't know Sean Connery was in a Hitchcock film. Yeah, just a bunch of other great ones. Frenzy, and even more that I didn't show. But yeah, Alfred Hitchcock, that's my box set. So now on to the music portion of this video. You can take the discographies of 5 different bands. I'm assuming he means bands or artists. That's the way I'm going to answer it. If you're a member of the music community, vinyl community, you're going to know you're going to know my number one guy. Other people may not. So, anyway, you know, I'm not going anywhere without Russ Taff, 3-time inductee to the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. That voice of his, just absolutely sensational. Yeah, I've got to have some Russ going with me. Probably my favorite band, Stryper. Soldiers Under Command is this album, but yeah, I want their entire discography going with me. Love Stryper. Probably the best hard rock band I've ever seen live. So even though I brought in Stryper, and they are a metal band that rocks as hard as you would want, sometimes I gotta go even a little bit harder. Megadeth. So we've got, this is Dystopia. I love this album. Of course, Rust in Peace and Peace is Selling But Who's Buying are classics. So is, well, I can just name their whole discography. Love Megadeth. And Johnny Cash. Bringing this, yeah, I mean, not only does he have a huge discography, but just one of the great artists in our country's history. Wow, what can you say about him? Well, Chris Christopherson said it best. He's the father of our country, so gotta have some Johnny Cash. Looks like I forgot to pull something on the final artist, so I'll put a picture right here. We're talking about Eva Cassidy. And, you know, you gotta have a female voice in there, and I don't know of a female voice that is so pure and so beautiful as the late great Eva Cassidy, gone from us way too soon. But yeah, so I'm going to make her my 5th artist that I'm taking the whole discography. All right. So this next question is the hot potato. James said we can make 5 bands disappear from existence. Boy, James, what are you doing to me? This one's, I only have like 320 subscribers, and you asking me to make some folks mad? I hope everyone will take this. It's just a list. It's just a list. That's all it is. It's just my opinion. And what's that worth? That and what, $1.50? Maybe you might be able to get a small coffee from Starbucks or something. I don't know. But I can make 5 bands disappear. I've got the list right here. Number 1. Anybody who knows me knows that I hate the 90s and I hate grunge. Nirvana, you're out of here. Talk about sucking the joy out of the room. I don't ever want to hear Nirvana ever again. Number 2, I'm an 80s guy. I was a teenager in the 80s. But not everything that we had in the 80s was great. And I'm looking right at Madonna when I say that. Madonna, you're out of here. You were a no-talent skank back then. You still don't have any talent, and now you're just older. You're gone. And hopefully, if I don't know if I just Thanos snap her out of existence, or do I need to do a flashpoint and go back to the 80s to Thanos snap her out of existence. But I'm hoping that because she's gone, then maybe Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry won't happen either. Artist number 3 who's gone. Cheap Imitation. Marilyn Manson. Can't stand him. Don't know what anybody has ever heard out of this guy. Alice Cooper did everything that he ever did and did it better and did it longer. And yeah, Marilyn Manson, you're out of here. Bye. See ya. Oh, this 90s band, when they sprung to my mind, I thought, oh, they're gone. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. They suck. They suck. You're gone, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I never have to listen to Californication ever again. Bye. You're out. This next one may be a little bit surprising, but I have a twisted reason for doing it. Again, I may need a flashpoint where I can go back in time, create an alternative reality where he never got to start because Thanos snapped him right out of existence. Jimmy Buffett, you're gone. What? Jimmy Buffett? Why? Well, he was the one who started this whole flip-flops and margaritas and sitting on the beach junk. And he's kind of like a bat in Wuhan. And that jump from there to the country guys like Kenny Chesney and Toby Keith, and the next thing you know, they're talking about flip-flops and margaritas and drinking stuff out of a red cup, and who cares? Then you got bro country springing out of that, right? You got bro country. So I'm hoping I take Buffett out, then all these guys from Chesney and Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean and Florida Georgia Line, all those idiots, maybe instead of listening to Buffett, they're listening to Johnny Cash and Waylon and Willie, and yeah, Jimmy Buffett, you're out of here. So there you have it. Hope I haven't I hope that I haven't lost half my subscribers now. So that is the movie Purgatory, and appreciate James and his channel. That's DVD Collector 1974, and yeah, and Steve Carlson. Know that our thoughts are with you, buddy. I can't even imagine how difficult times must be right now. Yeah, just no words. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's going to have a good weekend, and we will see you soon. Peace.